Hello, my name is Jinny, and this is a video about my life in Cusco, Peru. In the fall of 2017, I will be attending nursing school at Dominican University of California to begin my career in medicine. Before beginning my program, I had the opportunity to practice my medical and Spanish skills in Cusco. Since the 10th of June, I have been living in Cusco, Peru, to work in a clinic called Central Salud de San Pedro. This clinic is located north of Central Cusco on a street called Simón Bolívar. Every Monday through Friday during my time there, I left my house at 7 in the morning to begin my walk to my clinic. It took me 50 minutes to walk to my clinic because I lived on the other side of the city. But the walk never bothered me because the city was gorgeous. Throughout the city, there are so many different types of cultural landmarks that explain so much about the Incan culture. Learning about the culture was one of my favorite parts of Cusco, and the walk helped me do that daily. When I arrived at my clinic, I always started my day with the same activities, admission and triage. Senor Mariano and Senora Sylvia always started the day by forming a line of the patients. Afterwards, the volunteers and I would go look for the patient files in the admission room. Then, we would take the patients to Topico to do triage. This would include taking blood pressure, weight, and height. I always had a lot of fun doing this because the volunteers and I would be together during this time. Once we finished, we separated to our specific specialty to work with our doctors. In our clinic, we have many different types of doctors: the general doctor, obstetrics, psychologists, dentists, pediatrics, and all sorts of nurses that assist all the doctors. During my time there, I always worked with the obstetrics in my clinic. In our office, there are two obstetricians named Dr. Rocio and Dr. Charo. In the majority of my time there, I usually work with Dr. Rocio, but a few times I work with Dr. Charo as well. Together, they taught me so many new things with OB. I learned how to use various new machines. For example, I learned how to use this one called the Doppler. This machine allowed us to listen to the baby's heartbeat. In the beginning, it was difficult to find. However, after my time there, I can now easily find the heartbeat. In addition to the Doppler, it showed me how to measure the baby and the mother. This can be difficult because the baby is round in the mother. However, with proper technique, it can be easily done. During my time at the clinic, I learned a lot about anti-conceptive medicines in Peru. There are many different types of birth control medicine. For example, there are injections, pills, DIUs, implants, and the original condoms. In general, most women in our clinic opted for the injections. This helped me because I was able to practice injections at our clinic. In the beginning, I was a bit nervous to do it. However, after administering it once, I felt more confident. By the end of my time at the clinic, I was able to inject the medicine with just a supervision from my doctor. In addition to injections, I learned a lot about different exams in obstetrics as well. Whenever we had new patients, we had a few routine exams that we needed to do. Exams for anemia, diabetes, and HIV. These are the machines that we used. Dr. Rocio and Dr. Charo also taught me about the importance of disinfection and sterilization while I was there. When thinking about medicine, many people forget this part. However, it is a very important aspect about medicine because many different diseases can be prevented with these methods. Every day before seeing patients, we would always disinfect all the tables, beds, and equipment with alcohol and other disinfection products. In addition to disinfection, I learned a lot about the importance of proper documentation in Peru. In most of the clinics in Peru, the workers still use paper documents to write down all of their notes. This puts emphasis on the importance of proper organization. For almost all of our work, we would use paper documents. For example, when writing prescriptions, we would always have to write it down for the pharmacy. During my time at Obstetrics, I constantly helped my doctors do this. Overall, Dr. Orosio and Dr. Ocharo taught me so many new things with OB. I'm extremely grateful for their kindness and the patience they had with me. Because of that, I know I miss them truly. After work, I would always walk down the hill of Simón Bolívar to have lunch. In Peru, lunch is the biggest meal of the day. There would be various parts of the meal. To begin, they would either have a soup or an appetizer. Then they would have the entree. Sometimes in restaurants there would be a drink and a dessert as well. All in all, this was called the menú de día. During my time in Peru, I tried various new dishes: ceviche, ají de gallina, trucha, bistec de alpaca, goy, and all the potatoes in the world. All of it was extremely delicious. Because of that, I know I will miss it all. After lunch, I would go to my Spanish class. My school was called Maximo Nivel on Avenue del Sol, located right in front of the Goricancha temple. I would only take Spanish classes there, however they offered many other classes as well. Many Peruvians would come take English classes. Therefore, all the students were a huge mix of different types of people speaking all sorts of different types of languages. Tanya was my professor in my private class. She had a lot of different teaching experience in her life. Therefore, I was able to learn a lot in her class. We'd always begin the day by talking about what we did in the morning and then continue with activities in the book. Tanya was a great teacher for me because she had medical experience as well. After leaving high school, she went to school for medicine. However, after a couple years, she decided to change her major. She is still very knowledgeable about medicine, however. This class taught me much more than just the language. I learned about the culture as well. In addition to the culture, I learned a lot about the politics in Peru as well. 2 major strikes pertaining to the public school teachers and public doctors have been going on in Peru. The first one started in the middle of June. This indefinite strike was about the teachers' salaries. Many of the teachers are protesting the government to raise their salaries. In just the region of Cusco, there are more than 20,000 protesters in June alone. The other strike began on July 4th. This strike was about raising the salaries for the doctors. Since the beginning of these strikes, the public teachers and doctors have not been working to protest for their raises. Even though it's been a bit chaotic, it was definitely very interesting to learn about. After class, I always had free time in Cusco. I always spent my time doing various activities before dinner, exploring all the markets in Cusco, eating tons of delicious desserts, walking to various lookout points in Cusco, and at times heading to cafes to do homework. There was always new places to explore in Cusco, so I was never bored. At night, my roommates and I would always return home to eat dinner with my family. My new Peruvian family was so amazing. They welcomed us into their house and treated us like family. Because of that, I am extremely grateful for them. There was Diego and Ariana, their parents Garelia and James, their uncle Franklin, their grandmother Ali, and of course, Julissa. Whenever we were together, we always had so much fun. In addition to the new Peruvian family, I gained a new American family as well. In my house, there was Rachel, George, and Elliot. During my time there, we explored all over Peru together. We went to Machu Picchu, Lake Titicaca, the salt mines, Rainbow Mountain, many different villages in Sacred Valley, and of course, we spent a lot of time in Chuputeria. All of these people taught me the importance of family. There is constant love and affection in our house. Because of that, I know Cusco will always be my home away from home. I'm a little sad that my time in Peru has ended, but I also am extremely grateful for my time there. I really hope I'll be able to come back and explore Peru once again.